Navigating Canadian housing listening scenarios requires a specific mental framework. We are going to build that map now, starting with the baseline, the move-in inspection. During a walkthrough inspection, the dialogue focuses on accountability. Your objective is to determine exactly who is responsible for specific repairs before the lease is signed, the landlord or the tenant. You will hear specific damage mentioned, such as a scratch on the floor, or confirmations that appliances are functioning correctly. Success depends on catching the final agreement to put it in writing. Often, a landlord verbally agrees to a fix but immediately qualifies it. Listen for the pivot at but or however. This is where the landlord might accept the labor but shift the cost of materials to the tenant. Capturing the final answer requires listening past the initial yes to identify the specific financial burden placed on the tenant. The second scenario covers utilities. Because Canadian winters are long, heating often relies on electric baseboard heaters, which are notorious for high energy consumption. The dialogue will point to root causes of high costs. Listen for mentions of drafty windows, adjustments to the thermostat, and the final total on the hydro bill. This graph illustrates a typical billing spike. The audio will mention several figures, such as a bill jumping from $50 to $150. You need to calculate the delta, the exact difference between those two numbers. Once the speakers establish the cost, they will settle on a solution. Identify the specific action item they agree to, such as purchasing weather stripping to seal the windows. While the test provides absolute numbers as distractors, the correct answer is found by linking the calculated difference to the final agreed-upon solution. The third scenario involves a landlord selling the property. In Canada, a sale doesn't grant a landlord the right to immediately evict a tenant. If a new buyer moves in, the landlord must follow strict protocols regarding compensation and the tenant's legal rights. Consider this. If a tenant receives an eviction notice because the house is being sold, what is their most logical next step? The correct response in these scenarios is to contact the tenancy board for legal advice. Success here depends on recognizing these specific legal protections. Relying on is a macro housing news report. These often focus on government policies like Vancouver's empty homes tax, designed to regulate the market. These reports require a grasp of specialized terms: vacancy rate, affordable housing, and the government's power to penalize speculators. To handle this data, map the expert opinions against a before and after vacancy rates shown in these comparisons. This framework connects the small details of a tenant walkthrough to the broad data of a citywide housing report. Our completed map reveals 3 consistent rules. Catch the but or however pivot, calculate the exact dollar delta, and prioritize tenant legal rights. By combining Canadian cultural context with precise data tracking, these housing scenarios become a highly structured and predictable logic puzzle.